The rise of Melissa Jefferson-Wooden and Richardson's fight.
Semifinals of the women's 100 meters, and here is Sha'Carri Richardson, the reigning 100-meter world champion. Ahead of the U.S. Championships this summer, Richardson was arrested following an altercation with world champion Christian Coleman at the Seattle airport. Seattle authorities have charged her with assault in the 4th degree. She pled not guilty and is scheduled to appear in court in October, but has carried a lot of burden off the track and now gets to focus on being on the track as the reigning world champion.
She's a defending world champion, and this is a very difficult semifinal that includes Sha'Carri Jackson, the silver medalist from the last time we were at Worlds, as well as the fastest African ever, Marie-Josée Talou-Smith of Côte d'Ivoire. So Sha'Carri has not broken 11 for the season so far, and she's going to need a sub-11 here if she's going to be in the top 2 automatic qualifiers.
Finals are tonight as well. The progression to get to the finals be in the top 2 or one of the 2 time qualifiers. Sha'Carri was a time qualifier in 2023, got lane 9 and won it from that outside lane. And when you look at the start lists, when they draw for the semifinals, you always pick the one that's kind of the semifinal of death, and this is the one, right?
This is the one, because in 4 and 7, you have 2 women who start well in Sha'Carri and Marie-Josée, and they know how to run rounds. They have a lot of experience in these 100-meter wars.
Richardson in 6, Jackson in 7, Talou-Smith in 4. And a little extra movement here in semifinal 1.
Just to make this semifinal a little harder, Daryl Nita ran 10.94 in her heat. Her personal best is 10.90. I think she's due for a personal best here. That just makes this semifinal that harder. But look at the big flinch right there by Sha'Carri. Was she responding to something to her left and right? We will await the computer readout and see if there is, oh wow. So lanes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know what happens when you have that many people moving. You can't throw out half the field. He's gonna caution the field and say, ladies, at the set command, come up and hold steadily, please. So the nerves ramp up just a tick, maybe more than 1 tick. There's Sha'Carri's training partner, Kayla White, who was 2nd at U.S. Nationals. As I said, Nita looks like she's ready to run faster than she ever has before. Sha'Carri Jackson has a lot to prove, losing the Jamaican national title this year for the first time in a while. And Sha'Carri won that gold medal 2 years ago in Budapest. She was the first woman that ever had qualified on time for a world championship final and then won. She's gonna have to have that kind of effort here.
There are 2 seats at the finish line for those 2 time qualifiers, and no one in this field wants to be in that seat. They want to be in the top 2 and be guaranteed a spot in the final. Women's 100. And away in the start, and Sha'Carri Richardson did not have a good start out of the blocks. Has a lot of work to do. Jose Marie Talou and Sha'Carri Jackson, first 2 across the line. Jackson and Talou-Smith will get the automatic spots in the final, and Sha'Carri Richardson, rinse and repeat from 2023. She's got to wait to advance on time.
But it looks almost exactly the same as it did 2 years ago when Sha'Carri emerged as world champion. I think she's going to have at least a season's best maybe here. Hold on a second, because they just put White as 3rd. Is that what we saw? One thing is for sure, the veterans that we talked about, Talou-Smith and Jackson, took care of business as we thought they would. But the computer just put up Kayla White as 3rd. And I don't think that's what we saw visually. Let's look again. So Sha'Carri, she had a bad stumble. And given the fact that she stumbled so badly, I thought she recovered very well to catch and pass Daryl Nita and get herself very close to Shericka Jackson in second. So no, there's no question that Sha'Carri is third now that we look at that. That's a big stumble though. No, there's no doubt that Sha'Carri is third here. So she will not be in the automatic qualifiers. But I think she has a really good chance to make the final. Look at Talu Smith.
The results have been adjusted in the stadium, confirming that Richardson did finish in third in a season's best 11 flat.
Okay. The computer made me question everything I saw because I said probably a season's best. Maybe she broke 11. So 11 flat will be the bubble time for Sha'Carri Richardson. So she comes in with all the confidence of an undefeated season. But Julian Alfred came into Worlds in 2023 undefeated all year and left without a medal. It's not as simple as just showing up to Worlds undefeated. You have to execute once you get to these high-pressure semifinals.
See Dina Asher-Smith, a former world champion at 200 meters, but let's set up Tina Clayton as well, the Jamaican next to her.
Tina Clayton, I think, is going to be closest to Melissa Jefferson-Wooden in this semifinal. She's trained by Stephen Francis with the MVP group in Kingston, Jamaica. Of course, that's the squad that has produced Elaine Thompson-Herah and, of course, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, Asafa Powell, and many, many others. Dasso, she's part of that Italian 4x1. She was a heat winner yesterday. She looked very good, 11:01. She's the Italian record holder. There's Lewis of Australia.
Yeah, Tori Lewis set the Australian national record in the opening round. Leduc set the Canadian record in July up at a meet in Edmonton as Hunt and Richardson await their fate at the end of this third semifinal. Again, only 2 advance automatically. This not the deepest semifinal. Would put, you would think, Sha'Carri in somewhat of a relatively calm position, but
you would think. You never know. Because if Dina Asher-Smith looks like the old Dina Asher-Smith, she could run sub-11. Thelma Davies has run under 11 as well.
Final semifinal, women's 100. And Clayton with a nice start in the middle of the track. Alongside her is Jefferson-Wooden. Now the American begins to stride away, and she will cruise through the line. Look at the time as they stop the clock at 10:74, easily the fastest time of the semifinals, which is not necessarily what you want to do, but now we await the times below her. Dina Asher-Smith in third. She's going to get herself, I believe, the final time qualifier, but Sha'Carri Richardson reacting here. Let's do this again, as she got the time qualifier in Budapest in 2023, and that opportunity realized that she won the world title. She'll get that opportunity again in the final in Tokyo.
We don't know the lane draw just yet, but Sha'Carri might be on the outside once again in lane 9 with all the favorites on the inside paying attention to each other. But make no mistake about it, Sha'Carri is not having the same type of year that she did in 2023, but you can see the relief though. She has made it at least to the final with an opportunity to defend her title from 2 years ago. I figured that Tina Clayton would be closest to Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. I think she made Melissa run a little faster than she wanted to because she got out ahead of her, and she made Melissa go to the jets right in the middle. And because she had touched a little bit on her top end speed, she sort of sustained it all the way, and that's why she ran such a fast semifinal. But I think we see a little bit more now that the semifinals are done. 3 people are not beating the woman on your left, and I don't think 3 people are beating Julian Alfred, so it's a question of who else wants to be on that podium.
The women's 100-meter final in Tokyo was a stunning display of a changing of the guard, with Melissa Jefferson-Wooden delivering an absolutely dominant performance. Her time of 10.61 seconds was not only a personal best and a new championship record, but it also made her the 4th fastest woman in history. identifies her as the new queen of the 100 meters, having gone unbeaten all season. For Sha'Carri Richardson, it was a race that encapsulated her challenging year. After struggling in the semi-finals and making it into the final as one of the fastest losers, she stumbled out of the blocks, a familiar issue. Despite this, she showed incredible grit to finish her race strong and clock a season's best of 10.94. While she was unable to defend her title and finished fifth, her performance shows a tenacious spirit. As she said on social media, 2025 owes me nothing, and her focus is now on the upcoming sprint relay. The race in Tokyo was a testament to her resilience and the fierce competition at the top of the sport. It's clear that even when she's not at her best, Richardson remains a fighter and a major presence on the track.